Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. I'm Saral Nashir with you once again in our today's session on scoring 99 plus percentile in LRDI. That's what we are going to discuss in our today's lecture. Okay, so welcome to this session once again. We shall start soon, but by the time we start, can you just tell me, am I audible and visible to you guys? I hope there are no technical issues, right? I'm sure all of you can hear me, all of you can see me. There is no doubt about that. Then we shall start with our class. Okay. Okay. So when I talk about the three sections of CAT, verbal ability, quantitative ability, LRDI, this is one area in which everyone feel that probably it is difficult to figure out how to score well in the section. I mean, in quantitative aptitude, you can say, okay, this is the syllabus, please do that, practice these many questions, do these concepts, and that ways you can do it. Or if I talk about verbal ability, then it is about reading comprehension, reading. You do a lot of reading, work upon your grammar, work upon your vocabulary. Those might be helpful while reading it. So there also we can do something like that. But in I mean, there is no specific type of questions that they would be asking you. I mean, in the last few years, though, there have been some type of questions, but you can't say that, okay, always they would be asking you questions based upon this or that. It is not necessary. जरूरी नहीं होता है वो. So from that perspective as well, you will see that यार मतलब इतना आसान नहीं है to score well in LRDI. So in our today's session, we are going to talk about that as well. How can we score a good percentile in LRDI section? Please keep on asking any kind of questions if you have in your mind. So just let me know about those in the chat box. I would be happy to answer all of them. Let's start then. शुरू करते हैं आज के सेशन को. The first thing first is what is the breakup of the questions? What kind of questions do appear in the actual exam? पहले तो इसके बारे में बात कर लेते हैं. So I am sure that many of you would know about it, that if I talk about the CAT exam, so in the last 3 years, things actually changed with respect to 2019 and before. So previously there was a specific pattern: 34 questions in verbal, 34 questions in quant, and 32 questions in LRDI. Each section was of 60 minutes. But then when COVID struck, things changed a bit, right? So how did they change? As you can see on the screen, CAT 2019 was the last paper when LRDI section was of 60 minutes. At that time, we had 8 sets of 4 questions each, and in total, we had a 53 score at which a person could have got 99 percentile. The difficulty level of LRDI section has always been moderate to difficult. Sometimes it is towards difficult, sometimes it is towards moderate, but in last many years I have not seen an easy LRDI or a very difficult LRDI. Normally it is somewhere between moderate and difficult, because one of the sets would be easy, one of the sets or two of the sets would be difficult, one would be moderate or two would be moderate. So always this kind of structure would be there. In 2020, we had a 40 minutes paper. There were 24 questions, 3 sets of 4 questions each, 2 sets of 6 questions each. At 34 score, you have a 99 percentile that year. In 2021, it was again a 40 minutes paper. Once again, there were 2 sets of 4 questions each, 2 sets of 6 questions each, and we had a 99 percentile at 33. Last year in 2022, once again it was a 40 minutes paper, but this time there were 4 sets of 5 questions each. So if you look at the composition of the section, it has actually changed every year in the last 4 years, right? 19 के बाद जो 20 में it was different, 21 was different, 22 was different. Though in these 2 years, number of questions have been the same, but I see number of questions in each set, they actually got changed from 21 to 22. So that's the structure of last 4 years. And as I said, moderate to difficult in all these years, you will see number of sitters, right? Number of sitters has always been around one set in the last 3 years, and before that it was around 2 sets. उसके पहले 2 sets के आसपास रहा था. So that is the general structure of the paper which has been there in the last 4 years. I hope you are getting my point here, right? So first thing first, पहले तो यही जानना चाहिए हम लोगों को पेपर आता कैसा है. After that I'll move ahead. So in my class today, I'll be moving ahead according to that only. पेपर आता कैसा है, उसके बाद विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट व्हाट इज अ गुड स्कोर, उसके बाद विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट फ्रॉम व्हाट एरिया दे आस्क यू क्वेश्चंस, then we'll be talking about how do we reach there, what is the strategy, and then we'll be talking about some questions as well, that how do we apply these in the actual exam. So I'll move on from here, from the breakup of questions. The next thing is score versus percentile. At what score, what kind of percentile you could have got in CAT 2022, 21, 20 and before. This is what is mentioned in this table. So this row tells you the total marks out of which these scores are given. So if I talk about the recent two CATs, in the recent two CATs, a 99 percentile was there at 29 marks in 2022 and at a 33 marks in 2021, which is approximately 50 to 55% of the total. Right, everyone? I hope all of you can see that. So here also it is slightly less than 50%. Here also you can see it is slightly, I mean around 55%. So it's always around 50-55% of the paper that can take you to a 99 percentile in LRDI. This is the target that we are talking about today. A 95 percentile is at a score of 19, which is around 33%. A 90 percentile is around 25%. So generally the structure is like that. A 99 percentile, 95 percentile, 90 percentile, they are at half of the paper, one third of the paper, one fourth of the paper. तकरीबन इसी तरह का स्ट्रक्चर आप हर साल में देखने को मिलेगा. ऑफ कोर्स व्हेन इट इज स्लाइटली इजी इट चेंजेस अ लिटिल बिट. थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट होगा तो हल्का सा नीचे जा सकता है, बट मोस्टली इट इज अराउंड दीज फिगर्स ओनली. दैट इज द स्कोर वर्सेस परसेंटाइल. But I also want to give you an idea in terms of questions versus percentile. Because score में हमें उतना अंदाजा नहीं हो पाता जितना questions में हो पाता है. Let's talk about questions. Last year there were 20 questions. Last to last year there were 20 questions. A 99 percentile was there at around 9.67 questions, which means two sets, because there were four sets of 5 questions each. So two sets. And year before that, there were two sets of 4 questions each. There were two sets of 6 questions each. So approximately 99 percentile was there at two sets of 6 questions, right? Approximately itna मान लीजिए. Or one set of 6 questions and one set of 4 questions. Somewhere between that, I had a 99 percentile. A 95 percentile was there at just 6.33 questions. Year before that, it was 8.33 questions. Two extra questions needed to be done in 21. Similarly, a 90 percentile was there at just one set of 5 questions, and this was at one set of 6 questions, at which you could have gone above 90% of the people, right? Somehow these figures also tell us कि लोग बाग जो है कितना पेपर कर पा रहे हैं LRDI में. As you can see, a 90 percentile is there at just 5 questions. What does that mean? 90% of the people are not even able to do 5 questions in the actual exam. Right? That's the kind of figure. Otherwise, we keep on thinking चार set आते हैं, चारों करने, and we end up doing not even one complete set, right? So अगर हम target भी उसी हिसाब से set कर लेंगे, we can easily get up to 99 percentile as well. That's not a problem. Now, the next point. The 99 percentile in all these years have been at what scores? So as I said, around 50%, 55%, less than 50%, around 55%, less than 50%, less than 50%, less than 50%. In all the years, mostly it has been at less than 50%. तो इसीलिए मैं कह रहा हूं आप 50 से 55% का फिगर मान के चलिए. At this score, you would be getting a 99 percentile in your CAT exam. Okay, so you can say 2021 was an exception when paper was slightly easy as far as LRDI is concerned. लेकिन बाकी ईयर्स में अगर आप देख रहे हो, it is always around 50-55% at which you get a 99 percentile in your CAT exam. I'm sure that all of you got an idea from this. Now comes the important point. What is the syllabus to be covered? Is there any syllabus, first of all? As we say, there is a syllabus in quantitative aptitude. There is a syllabus in verbal ability as well when we talk about grammar, vocab and all. What is the syllabus to be covered in logical reasoning and data interpretation? Though it is right to say, you can say in one way that there is no syllabus to be covered in LRDI actually. It is just like that general knowledge where you can't say that, Okay, this much of syllabus is there, I have covered all of this, and now you ask me any question, I would be able to do it. That does not happen in LRDI. It's about your logical reasoning. Improve your reasoning skills to do LR. Improve your calculation skills to do DI, including the interpretation skills as well. And that's all that is needed. Not that you can say that, okay, I have done all these types. I have done 5 sets of all these types. So now I can expect a 99.5 percentile in my CAT exam. No, that's not necessary. It's not necessary. Because what is CAT going to ask you in LRDI? Even we do not know about it. We have been looking at all the papers for last many years. In a session a few days back, I was discussing it with some of my students that when we did a research on last 6 years papers of logical reasoning, from which area the questions have appeared, we saw that the maximum number of questions has appeared from reasoning based DI. Maximum number of sets were there from reasoning based DI. That means it's a combination of LR and DI. After that, metrics has been very important area. Metrics and scheduling, metrics and grid, metrics formation, those kind of questions. Then we had many sets from Venn diagrams as well. We had many sets from games and tournaments as well. And when we tried to make different types, we end up making 15, 16 types. Even after making those 15, 16 types, there were some sets which were not covered under those 15, 16 types. They were under a miscellaneous category, we put them, and then we saw that miscellaneous category had the highest number of sets, even higher than any of those 16 categories that we have made. So even if we try to put all of them into different categories, still I have to make miscellaneous category after making 16 different categories. This is the kind of questions that LRDI is asking you. And that becomes important for us to understand then that, okay, what is to be studied in these cases? क्या पढ़ना है फिर इसका मतलब क्या करें? So as I always said it to you have to study logical reasoning. You have to improve your reasoning skills. Start doing it from doing any kind of puzzles. You can play some logical games as well. You can do these puzzle books by George Summers or Shakuntala Devi and all. You can do these previous year papers to get an idea about these. You can go through newspapers where you have these Sudoku, Kakuro kind of puzzles. So any kind of puzzles in which you have to do some kind of brainstorming, just try doing that. Trust me on this, all of that would be used in the actual exam. वो सब काम आता है. So that's an important area for all of us. वो सबको मेरे ख्याल से करना चाहिए if you want to improve at LRDI. Apart from these questions that you see on the screen, missing database sets have been a lot, have been asked in LRDI section. But the point is, when I talk about missing data, does it have any special kind of formulas in it? Of course not. Any separate concept in it? No, it is just a separate type which is based upon reasoning. Arrangements. Arrangements has got some of its rules which are required, but still 20% is rules, 80% is reasoning. Venn diagram mein, I would say it is 30-35% of rules, remaining is reasoning. Games and tournaments, 20-25% rules, rest is reasoning. Selection and grouping, all reasoning. Grid formation, all reasoning. Networks, all reasoning. So most of them are all of reasoning. Similarly, when I talk about data interpretation, some of the concepts are there which you can study initially. कि ठीक है, ज्यादातर DI में ये पूछते हैं, इस तरह के concepts पूछे जाते हैं, तो ठीक है, ये मैं कह सकता हूँ कि yes, ऐसे concepts I am reading them, right? But ultimately, it's all about calculations and interpretation of the data. That's all going to be important for you. I'm sure you all understood my point from here. I'll move ahead. Now, how do I reach there? The percentile that I talked about, how do I reach there? So I am saying, first of all, write some mocks to get an idea that what is the current percentile that you are getting in the actual CAT exam, right? Normally, whatever percentile you would get in the mocks, in the actual CAT exam, you will get slightly above that. If the mocks are giving you 70 percentile, in the actual exam, you would be getting around 80 percentile. ऐसा करके get an idea. So get an idea of what stage are at you right now. What is your current percentile? So let's say currently you are able to do just 4 to 5 questions correct in LRDI section. I would say make some small milestones. By July end, you should be able to do 7 questions correct. By September end, make it 9. By CAT, make it 10. So this is how you move ahead with these. Similarly, if currently you are just getting 6 to 7 questions correct in LRDI, make a target of having 9 questions by July end, 10 to 11 by September end, 11 plus by the CAT exam, and that is for the others as well as mentioned on the table. How do you reach these targets, right? That's also important. Do not do like, okay, currently I'm getting 6 7 by July and I have to get 9, so every time I go for a mock I just try to do everything and I try to see whether I've got 9 or not. No, that's not the right way, right? It's not a freestyle boxing that wherever you want to kick you, there has to be a proper way of doing it. You have to move in a proper strategy. तो एक proper strategy लेके चलिए, right? That okay, this time my target is to get 9 questions correct. To get 9 questions correct, I need to do 2 sets. So probably when I start my section, first I'll be selecting 2 sets from which I have to do questions. And then I'll be focusing upon them. But suppose after the exam you find out, no, that was a bad approach. Okay, try some other approach then, right? Then if even that does not work, try some other approach. So keep changing your approach so that you can improve your score. Ultimately, as I said, your target should be to get 9 questions by July end, then August, then September, then final exam. ऐसा करके धीरे धीरे बढ़ाइए. Hi Arvind, I think you have been with us for a very long time. I see you in many of my sessions and other sessions as well. Thank you very much though for coming today as well. Okay, I'll move ahead from here now. फिर थोड़ा सा आगे बढ़ते हैं. So what needs to be done? सारी बातें हो गई. We know this is our target. This is where we have to reach. These are the percentiles that we are looking at. This is the syllabus that I have to complete. Now the next question is what to do? करें क्या इन सारी चीजों के लिए? Let's come to that part. There are 3 things primarily that I would be talking about. First, about practice. How do you practice? I mean, what all things are to be done during the practice time? First of all, at least 3 to 4 sectional tests per week should be done by each and everyone, starting from today only. Right? Of course, you can increase this number once you reach near the CAT exam, but at this stage, in my opinion, at least 3 to 4 sectional tests you should be writing every week to be good at LRDI. Sectional test से मेरा मतलब ये है a complete test of 40 minutes. Start doing that every week. Of course, I can understand if you are a working person, or let's say you are in a college and you have to focus upon your studies as well. You do not have that much of time. You can reduce these number of sectional tests at this stage in the weekdays, but in the weekends, then you have to take them, right? At least try to take at least 2 on the weekends and 1 on the weekdays. At least इतना तो हम लोग कोशिश कर सकते हैं. This is what you all have to do. This second part is extremely important. Many of the students take it very lightly कि कैट और जेट के प्रीवियस ईयर पेपर्स क्यों कर रहे हैं, मॉक्स कर तो रहे हैं हम लोग. We are anyways practicing through our mocks. So why to go through CAT and Z previous year papers? Is it necessary to go there? See, let me tell you, there are two important benefits of CAT and Z previous year papers. First, whatever sets you are going to do, they all are authentic sets that have appeared in CAT and Z, जो वहां पर आए हैं, right? It keeps you away from all kind of irrelevant sets which can never appear in these exams. Many a times we keep doing such difficult sets जो कभी CAT Z आपसे पूछेगा ही नहीं और वो हम करते रहते हैं. Because you must have seen, if you have done some analysis, IFT का जो LRDI होता है is quite different from that of CAT. कई बार हम लोग आईएफटी टाइप एलआरडीआई जो है करते रहते हैं, वो कैट में कभी पूछा ही नहीं जाता. सो देयरफॉर वी नीड टू नो व्हाट इज द रेलेवेंट टाइप. सो व्हेन यू डू दीस प्रीवियस ईयर पेपर्स, दे टेल यू व्हाट इज द रेलेवेंसी. Along with that, you are also practicing them. Second advantage, many a time the sets that have appeared in CAT, Z, IFT, they have reappeared in some other paper. For example, last to last year, I remember IFT asked a question of 5 questions, a set of 5 questions in LRDI, which had already appeared in CAT 2 3 years back. Exactly the same set they asked. तो सोच के देखिए, if a person has already done that set, he would be taking 3 to 4 minutes to do that 5 question set, whereas नॉर्मली उसको करने में हो सकता है 15 मिनट लगते हैं, आपके 10 मिनट बच गए। 10 मिनट का मतलब 4-5 क्वेश्चंस एक्स्ट्रा आप कर पाए। 4-5 क्वेश्चंस का मतलब आप समझ ही रहे होंगे, your percentile goes from 90 to 99 percentile. That much of difference it can create. So therefore, I am saying previous year papers are a very good tool to be good at LRDI. It brings you confidence as well that yes, I am able to do those CAT, Z type of questions now, and I am being good at those. Second, the mock tests. प्रैक्टिस के बाद कहानी आती है मॉक टेस्ट की। ऑल ऑफ यू मस्ट राइट मॉक टेस्ट, whether it is about verbal ability, quantitative ability, LRDI, for all of them it is important to write the mock exams. क्या करना है उसमें? Proper analysis of the mocks is absolutely needed. Just by giving mocks, you would not reach anywhere. When you have appeared for a mock of 2 hours, after that you should be spending at least 4 hours on that mock. 2 hours for writing the mock, 4 hours for analyzing the mock. Analysis means to find out where I going wrong, right? A perfect strategy should be there in place. Okay, where was I going wrong? So was I picking up a wrong set? Why did I pick up this set? It was looking difficult, but I picked it up. What was I thinking while doing it? Why did I pick this set? Did not pick this set. It was very easy set. So did I leave this set only because it was lengthy? Did I leave this set because it is not from my comfort area? Did I leave this set because it had some calculations involved or numbers involved? So that only I can understand that what was I thinking. And then I would get to know this I should not be repeating now. सो नेक्स्ट टाइम आई वुड नॉट बी रिपीटिंग दिस मिस्टेक कि मैं इसको ऐसे कुछ भी मान के और ऐसे सेट को छोड़ दूं या करना शुरू कर दूं. सो आई हैव टू पे अटेंशन टू दिस पार्ट. दिस इज समथिंग दैट यू हैव टू डू इन योर मॉक्स. एंड फाइनली, what is to be done during exam? That's also important. So during the exam, two things. Selection needs to be very good. In LRDI, the most important part is what are the sets to be done, what are the sets not to be done. As I was talking about mocks and as well, कि mocks का भी सारा एनालिसिस इसी पे है, करें कि ना करें. ऐसा ही ड्यूरिंग द एग्जाम आपको देखना है. सिलेक्शन आपका सही होना चाहिए. Should I do this set or not? Selection has to be completely near perfect. Only then it can work for you. And tackling surprises as well. You appeared for the exam, you never know what kind of surprise you are going to face over there. Suddenly you might see a set which is from an area you have never heard of. Suddenly there might be more number of questions or lesser number of questions that you are currently going through. तो ऐसी बहुत सारी चीजों में ऐसा चेंज हो सकता है, right? So during exam, for any kind of surprises, you have to be ready and your selection has to be near perfect. That is the only way through which you can score 99 percentile. Now, how can that selection be good? Because that's a very important point. So I am talking about that as well now. How do you select the right sets? In my opinion, this is my strategy through which I select the sets. First, read the set and see, can you comprehend the set? क्या आपको समझ आ रहा है वो क्या कह रहा है? What all things the set is going to ask you? Are you able to understand all those things? This is the first thing that you should be paying attention to. Right? Are you able to comprehend this set? Because many times this has happened with me as well. When there is data, too much of data, it's very difficult to comprehend the data. Too many parameters are there. I feel a little confused over there. So I leave those sets for the first part. If you are able to comprehend it, if you are able to interpret all the statements, sometimes statements would be like that only A and B will not be going with C to that statement. So I will always have a question, only A and B will not be going with C. What does that mean? Can can go with C? Can B go with C? Can both go with C? Or no one can go with C? What does that mean? So I am not able to comprehend it. In such a case, leave that set, move ahead. First part. Secondly, the second part, according to me, is just a second. I think it's why is it not working? Yes. Have you already done such a type before? That's the second question. क्या आप पहले कर चुके हैं? If you have already done such a type before, that again I would say would be important for you to know. अगर मैं comprehend कर पा रहा हूं and after that I see, okay, this is a a familiar set, I have already done this set many times before, automatically your confidence would be boosted up at that time. You would feel, I have done such sets before, yeah, so that's not an issue. So possibly I can move ahead. But if I have not done such a set before and I have not a confidence in doing new sets, in such a case, I would say stop there as well. Third, is it from your strong areas, right? So अगर ये मेरे strong area से है, probably I can start with it. लेकिन अगर ये मेरे weak area से, probably at this stage I can stop. ठीक है, शायद मैं उतना कंफर्टेबल नहीं हूं, मुझे उतना कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आता सेट्स करने में, सो आई वुड स्टॉप बिकॉज इट इज नॉट फ्रॉम माई स्ट्रॉन्ग एरिया. इट इज फ्रॉम माई स्ट्रॉन्ग एरिया, I'll go ahead with that. So this is how you choose the sets, what is to be done and what is not to be done. This would actually come down from these three steps. In my opinion, this is what you should be doing. And to talk about it, I'm taking up a set as well. Sorry, I'm not taking a set. I'm just talking about the right way of doing it. ये तीनों steps करने के बाद, I'm sure you can reach a particular step. So I'm taking a set which I feel, I would be choosing according to that. I'll be telling you कि मतलब मैं उसको कैसे choose करता हूँ sets को करने में, and I'll be talking about one another thing which might be important for all of you. There are quite printing mistakes in the books of BYJU'S. Okay, Harshad, I'll take that feedback and I'll pass it on to the team. I'm sure they would work on that. If there are any kind of printing mistakes, it should be worked on. But sir, as we have said before, that new type of sets are usually easy. So should we go with, yes, they're usually easy because of only one reason, right? Because they are new. So people would be actually shying away from that set. अगर नया set difficult भी हो जाएगा तो no one would be trying that. So therefore probably CAT authorities have decided कि जो नया set देंगे वो हम normally थोड़ा आसान देंगे. But the problem is that many of these students do not even start a new set, right? They feel that इसको मैं करूंगा, पता नहीं होगा नहीं होगा, I'll always have a confusion. So better is to leave that set. So therefore, because of this reason only, I always try such kind of sets. मुझे पता ज्यादातर लोग ट्राई नहीं करते, इसलिए वो आसान दिया करते हैं, इसीलिए मैं ट्राई करता हूँ. नॉर्मली मुझे लगा है वो इजी ही मिलते हैं. इट हैज ऑलवेज बीन देयर. Now, so in last few years of CAT, I mean this set appeared. I think it's from CAT 2019. So when it was there, I picked up this set. Why did I pick up this set? So when I saw this set, the first thing first, was I able to comprehend? Yes, this kind. This has got a lot of very small information, that there are 0 to 9 digits which are to be filled up in these places. All digits are distinct. This is the only data. So I could comprehend. So therefore, first step is clear. Second, have I done such a type before? Yes. It is called crypt arithmetic. So I have done such a type before, in which we have to just make cases and check which all digits are there, which can come at the place of A, B, C, D, etc. Third, is it from a strong area? Yes, I have done such types before and I always found myself comfortable enough with these types. So therefore, I would start with this set. If you have not done it before, you are not comfortable, you are not feeling confident, leave it at this point. Even after this, when I have started, now see, what did I do? The following table represents addition of two 6-digit numbers given in the first and second rows, while the sum is given in the third row. In the representation, each of the digits 0 to 9 has been coded with one letter among A to K with distinct letters representing digits. So all these digits are representing letters from 0 to 9 in any order. So I have a 6-digit number, another 6-digit number, they are adding up to a 7-digit number. If I am adding a 6-digit number with another 6-digit number, can I surely say the summation of those? If it is a 7-digit number, it must be starting with 1. Just think of this. Think of two 6-digit numbers, 99999. This is the largest 6-digit number. Another 6-digit number, 9999, largest 6-digit number. What is their sum? 199998. The largest two 6-digit numbers, when they are added, the 7-digit summation starts with 1. So if there is a 7-digit number and it starts with 1, that means A has to be equal to 1. Question is saying what digit does letter A represent? My answer is equal to 1. How difficult it is to do? सोच के देखिए. Isn't it easy? I'm sure you guys would agree with me कि ये तो यार आसान बात है. There is nothing problematic with it. Secondly, अब एक और बात. Secondly, if A is equal to 1, this A would also be equal to 1, this A would also be equal to 1. So what should be B? B plus 1 should be giving me 11. I'm sure you all would agree with me on that. B plus 1 should be giving me 11. But how can B plus 1 should give me 11 if B is 10? But B cannot be 10, B is a digit. So can B be 9? If B is 9, there might be a carryover from behind of 1 such that 9 plus 1, 10 plus 1 carryover becomes 11. So B can be 9. Can B be 8? If 8 is there, the carryover from behind should be 2. But how can two digits send a carryover of 2? Even if you had 9 and 9, still they would send a carryover of 1. 2 का carryover तो कभी जा ही नहीं सकता. So therefore, B has to be 9 only. So the second question from this set was this only. What digit does letter B represent? That is equal to 9. My point is, I am able to do these two questions, question 1, question 2, within probably a minute. एक LRDI के सेट में आपको 5 में से 2 क्वेश्चन 1 मिनट में मिल जा रहे हैं. Just do them, move away. Do not do the other questions. When I saw the other question, which among the 3 digits cannot be represented by letter D? For that, I have to make the complete set. I have to find out which set is representing which digit. That will become a difficult task for me. In such a case, I would just skip these questions, do those 2 questions and move away. That's a very important point. Which sets are to be done? That's important. Within those sets, is it necessary to do all the questions? It is absolutely not necessary. These are some of the things that you have to pay attention to score 99 percentile in your DILR section. Thank you to you too, Ashura, for keep coming these sessions while solving these sets. If unable to comprehend the questions, then how to go ahead? Harshad, as I just discussed, if you are unable to comprehend a question, move ahead. Move to the next question. If you are unable to comprehend a set, move to the next set. Now that would never be there that you are not able to comprehend any of the sets, right? So kabhi kisi ek set mein this problem might be there. In that case, move to the next one. If still there is a problem, move to the next one. That way you can check it. And later on, of course, you can come back to those sets which you have done before. Okay. So that's all from my side, guys. I'm sure that these are useful tricks for all of you. Now, these are our wonderful results from our online classroom program. In the last year, you can look at these percentiles. There are many more people who have scored a brilliant percentile with us. And if you also want to do that, join our comprehensive program in which we provide you 300 plus engaging videos, 135 plus live sessions, mock tests, practice questions, and a lot many things are there which are there on your screen, and it also includes the preparation after CAT. So therefore we call it a comprehensive program. Also, to facilitate with that, we also have a scholarship program with us where you can get up to 90% scholarship, and you just have to appear for this exam on 28th of May at 11 a.m. on the BYJU'S exam prep app. Appear for this test and you can win up to 90% scholarship there. Also, on 30th of May, I am coming with a session at 7 p.m. once again on the BYJU'S exam prep app to talk about why should you start your CAT 2023 prep now, because you are already late. So what all things to be done at this stage, we are going to talk about all those things in the session on 30th of May at 7 p.m. Join me there. Also, if you are preparing for CAT 23, we have started these section-wise quizzes on our app and a series for 500 most expected questions on the YT channel. So please subscribe to the channel. You'll get to know about that series as well. We are also available on all of these media handles. That's all from my side, guys. Thank you very much. I'm sure this session is useful for you and you are going to improve your score in LRDI after this session. That's all. Thank you very much. Have a good day now. Bye bye, Tata, and take care of yourself.